This is News 2 at 4.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Gabriel Johnson. An update to a story we've been following for several weeks. Some people who live on Johns Island say they have been experiencing delivery issues. They tell us drivers have not been leaving their orders in the right place. News 2's Katie Fangvangsa spoke with a resident who was looking to find a quick solution.
Tells me his package was left in the rain for several hours right here on the ground below his mailbox.
Johns Island resident Bev Jenkins has been dealing with delivery issues with FedEx for a few years. He has specific instructions, including a gate code, to have his orders dropped off at his door as he has a disability.
I have a hard time getting my prosthetic leg on. When I can get it on, I can go in my golf cart or in my truck and get up there and get stuff. It's still hard to get out and get the package. But I have to call a family member or a neighbor, and I hate bothering my neighbors to go get a package for me up on the road, but that's unfortunately what I have to do. I order fresh meals from a company called Factor, and they deliver them weekly. And on Sunday, FedEx made the delivery in the pouring down rain. They left my box under my mailbox up at the road, and it rained on it all day long. I had a family member come out mid-afternoon and pick it up, and the box was just like mush. It was destroyed basically from the rain.
Jenkins tells me since FedEx switched to an independent contractor, the issue has gotten worse.
It's just like hitting a rubber bouncing wall. When you call FedEx, you get somebody in a call center somewhere that takes the information, and they're so sorry, but they don't offer any solutions.
We called the customer service line in hopes to find a solution after Jenkins has filed numerous reports.
The phone calls that I put in aren't seeming to make any difference.
I reached out to FedEx this morning, and a spokesperson told me they are taking a deep dive into this issue. And hours later, Jenkins received a phone call as well as a visit by some employees, assuring him the problem will be resolved moving forward.
Jenkins says he plans to add a handicap logo with delivery instructions onto his mailbox, taking matters into his own hands to see if that resolves the issue. On Johns Island, Katie Fangvangsa, Count on 2.
Former Williamsburg County Clerk of Court Sharon Staggers has been indicted on charges of misconduct in office, embezzlement, and ethics violations. State prosecutors say Staggers stole nearly $120,000 in federal child support enforcement funds between 2019 and 2023. She served as clerk since 2012 and lost her re-election bid earlier this year. Staggers is the third Williamsburg County official indicted on public corruption charges in the past 6 months. Authorities have not said whether these cases are connected.
All right, so we are looking at a few thunderstorms popping across the area. There's those puffy cumulus clouds. They're starting to get some vertical development. That's how you know that you're likely going to be seeing some thunderstorms here in the next 30 minutes to an hour within that given area. But Somerville looking pretty good. Plenty of sunshine out that direction. And those thunderstorms stretching all the way from Myrtle Beach down towards northern Charleston County. I think a few thunderstorms going to be firing off Carleton County, Dorchester County, and potentially far western Charleston County. Also seeing a little bit of that action. Listen, if you're going to be walking the dog, Lucy's very excited to go walking, you can tell. But we are looking at just a few isolated thunderstorms as we get into this evening. Things will start clearing up here as we head to about 9 o'clock or so. And yes, we are watching Tropical Storm Erin finally getting a little bit of a burst of thunderstorm activity in the tropics here as you're heading just east of the Lesser Antilles. We're going to be watching this carefully over the next couple of days. Ensembles looking pretty good. It's starting to curve it up a little bit north here. We can't shut the door on Erin just yet, but we are looking at some positive developments here in the last couple of model runs, but we're going to watch it. We're just going to watch it for the next couple of days. It's the best thing we can do, but so far, news is looking pretty good as far as Erin is concerned. We are expecting it to become a large hurricane, but hopefully that hurricane is just going to be a fish storm. It's going to be something out to sea and something that we won't have to worry about. All right, let's go ahead and talk traffic here. We are already seeing a slowdown. I-26 heading northbound from downtown Charleston, go to North Charleston and the I-26 exchange. And we can see a little bit closer here as we get towards areas a little bit closer towards the Ravenel Bridge. If you're heading eastbound, are also running into a few problems down that direction. And if we're taking a look at areas towards I-26 exchange. It's also busy going north and west. 34 minutes Mount Pleasant to West Ashley. Looking at downtown to Somerville, also looking at about 30 minutes. I anticipate that's going to be climbing upwards here, at least those times are, in the next 30 minutes or so.
News 2 is your back-to-school station, and we're not just talking about grade school. We're also focusing on colleges and universities. Today was move-in day for students at the College of Charleston. News 2's Delilah James joins us live from campus. Now, Delilah, you've been out there all day. Tell us what the scene's like.
Gabriel, 1,000 students are expected to move in today, and I've seen moving trucks coming and going all day long. Officials are urging for parents and students to pack light and plan ahead. The College of Charleston says nearly 3,000 freshmen and transfer students will move in this fall. To keep things smooth, volunteers have been out since early this morning, helping unload cars and get students settled. Move-in times are scheduled to reduce congestion, but traffic is still an issue. Calhoun and St. Philip Street are blocked off to let students unload safely and avoid road hazards. School leaders have some packing advice for incoming students. They say as tempting as it is to bring everything, less is always more.
We encourage students to maybe pack a little bit less than they think they might need, because the rooms and then kind of see how things are and know that certainly we have nearby stores and things to pick up anything you might have forgotten. So not to worry too much about something you think you forgot. Of course, it's here in the city. And then we want students and their families to meet roommates and suite mates and start to make these communities their new homes.
Early move-in continues until 5 p.m. tonight, but it will be back on Friday and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And officials are urging drivers to avoid this area during those hours. Reporting in downtown Charleston, I'm Delilah James, Count on 2.
Thanks, Delilah. The historic smokestacks at the St. Julian Divine Community Center are getting a full restoration to preserve their place in Charleston's skyline. The city of Charleston says the top to bottom project will begin this week and wraps up by early 2026. Work will include replacing damaged bricks, reinforcing the structure to meet safety codes, and strengthening it to withstand hurricane-force winds. Built in 1935 as part of the city's trash incinerator, the smokestacks are now a symbol of history and pride for the East Side community. Mayor William Cogswell says protecting them means protecting Charleston's historic skyline.
Next on News 2.
News 2 is teaming up with local animal shelters for our annual Clear the Shelters initiative, which happens all month long. Hear more on this coming up next.
All right, we have our weather artist of the day, Skylar, showing us kind of two scenarios here. We have the heavy rain on the left here, and then we have a boat being picked up by high winds there on the right. A lot of action going on in there. I'm sure the radar is lit up, all of that. Guys, if you want to send in your picture, include your name, age, and school, mail it to 210 West Coleman Boulevard, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, 29464. Or you can email us at stormteam2@wcbd.com. Skylar, congratulations. You are our weather artist of the day.
News 2's annual Clear the Shelters initiative is underway all month long. We and other NBC stations across the country are teaming up with local animal shelters to help some furry friends find forever homes. News 2's Hannah Baker is live in studio. And Hannah, you spoke with the Charleston Animal Society about why this initiative is so important.
That's right, Gabriel. Last year, we helped save 1,206 local shelter animals and help them find new homes. We want to help even more animals this year. And next week is the push to the finish line.
Clear the Shelters is an entire month of saving lives throughout the country.
An opportunity to make a difference, bringing home a new family member and saving a homeless animal from the kennel. The Charleston Animal Society tells me shelters typically see high intakes in the summer months.
Animals are being born more in the spring and summer, so it tends to be, in a time of year where we are truly overwhelmed with animals. All the rain we've been having has also displaced a lot of kittens.
Each year, NBC stations across the country, including News 2, team up with participating animal shelters during the month of August. The Charleston Animal Society is just one of 4 other shelters hosting events aimed at finding forever homes for animals. And preparations are underway right now for the big Crescendo Week.
The Crescendo event, the last week that we really are pushing the animals to get them out the door. It's our end of summer, big bang. And we want to make sure we have all our ducks in a row. All the animals are vaccinated, spayed and neutered. Those are critical things to get the animals out the door.
Almost 1,300 animals across the Society's locations, including dogs like Tiptoe, are up for adoption.
We have plenty of adult dogs, kittens, puppies, cats, everything, you name it. We even have rabbits right now, we have guinea pigs, we have a bird.
This year, Charleston Animal Society has taken over operations at Berkeley Animal Shelter, so they have even more animals in need of homes.
Please go to the Berkeley campus, go to a shelter near you, go to Charleston Animal Society. Our goal is to save even more lives this year with Clear the Shelters.
And starting next Tuesday, I'll be live at a different shelter each day, introducing you to some of the animals up for adoption. So be sure to tune in. Live in studio, Hannah Baker, Count on 2.
Thanks, Hannah. You can learn more information about the Clear the Shelters initiative or make a donation by scanning the QR code you're seeing on your screen right now. Brandon, it's been nice to see the sun back a little bit, but it's hot.
Yeah, it didn't take long. The sun came out and we're like, yes, and then
finally, right back to it.
And then the heat index went right back up to 110. So you take what you can from it, but we are seeing isolated thunderstorms across the area, and then we're watching the tropics, and then there's something out in the Gulf now. So
a lot happening.
There's a lot happening. Let's get right to it. Here's what we got going on out towards IOP. People taking advantage of the sunshine and the nice weather. And, well, relatively hot weather, and they're heading out to the islands and the beaches. We do have a few thunderstorms that are stalking the area, though, so something to keep in mind as you're going about and you're kind of making your way either maybe from work to home. Starting to see some lightning with some of these thunderstorms, particularly as you're getting up towards western Charleston County, up towards Almdale, Highway 17 going up towards Georgetown, McClellanville area, getting some thunderstorms up there. Here's what we have going on this evening. Things are going to clear out. Head towards 8 o'clock. Notice as we go through the overnight hours, 11 o'clock, you're starting to see some showers and thunderstorms approaching out of the west. Now, Vipercast does not have much of that coming through the low country. I'd say Kingstree, St. George, Moncks Corner, best candidate to get some isolated thunderstorm activity overnight into early tomorrow morning. I think the coast remains mostly clear. Now, tomorrow afternoon does show pretty widespread chances of showers and thunderstorms. I think Vipercast is being a little enthusiastic, just a little bit. I think this will be more isolated tomorrow, and a lot of that may even hold off until Thursday evening, maybe a little bit early on that line of showers and thunderstorms. Thursday night going into Friday, we do have clearing conditions once again. We start out dry Friday morning, and Friday afternoon, again, isolated showers and thunderstorms. So we're getting back to that diurnal pattern where we have those showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. They use the sun's heat, and then the sun goes down. You lose the heat, thunderstorms go away. We'll be back to that pattern at least through this weekend. Now, as far as the temperatures are concerned, overnight it's going to struggle to get below 80 degrees through most of the area. So it's going to be kind of uncomfortable in the overnight. Heat index is still going to be on the high afternoon. I think those showers and thunderstorms will help keep things relatively cool. Relatively. Some areas may not get those thunderstorms, and it'll be hot and humid in those select areas. So early Friday, looking at 70s and 80s in the overnight. And then Friday afternoon, if you don't get those thunderstorms, you're in the low to mid 90s. If you do, looking at some 70s and 80s for Friday afternoon. Now, we've been talking about Aaron a lot, but just wanted to highlight, if you're seeing stuff on social media or whatnot, there is an area that's being watched by the National Hurricane Center way in the southwestern Gulf. If it does form, likely going to be pushing onshore either into Mexico or far southern Texas. Just could be a rainmaker, not much to it. We're going to be putting that one on the back burners, kind of watching it. And as far as Aaron is concerned, that's also a system that, yeah, it could be on the stronger side, but it's basically watching a pot boil at this point. There's really nitty-gritty information that we want about this. Probably not going to be coming in until Friday, Saturday timeline, right? That's when we get within 5-day window. That's what we're going to be looking out for. And until then, it's looking good. We won't close the door on Aaron. We just need to watch it just a little bit longer here. Saturday, looking at 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Islands, beaches forecast also on the drier side for the most part. Let's talk traffic here. We do have slowdowns taking place westbound 526, westbound 26, the normal trouble spots. Westbound 526 going from North Charleston down to West Ashley, and it is a slowdown on the Don Holt there. And folks are just piling in, and that's mostly due to just kind of traffic volume. No accidents being reported at this moment. Looking at 30 to 35 minutes for downtown to Somerville. Mount Pleasant to West Ashley, looking at 35 to 40 minutes. But if you're heading West Ashley, heading east, actually doing pretty good there. So traffic volume is increasing. Just know that you may have some congestion as you're heading out the door.
From missing children to searching for suspects, Folly Beach police say a new drone program will give them an advantage in critical situations. They believe it will help officers respond faster and improve safety for everyone on the island. News 2's AC Barker explains how this program works.
Folly Beach police are adding a new tool to their public safety toolkit: drones. Officials say these eyes in the sky will help them locate missing people, respond to emergencies, and solve crimes more quickly. Officials say the department's drone program started just a few months ago to improve public safety. Both police and fire crews will use them, especially for missing persons cases on the beach. They can quickly scan large areas, check the water, and direct rescue teams where they're needed most. The program is still in its early stages, with officers completing FAA training. Police hope to have at least one trained pilot on duty at all times. They say drones can act as first responders, arriving before officers and relaying critical information. With night vision, they can help find missing children or suspects even after dark. Lieutenant Brandon Duncan says the program is long overdue.
I got it started because there's many calls I went to where I just thought to myself, man, I wish I had a drone right now. We had an incident in the past where a guy ran from us and he was hiding in the dunes. At nighttime, those dunes, they turn into a maze where we can't see. So we actually called on a department nearby and they brought their drone out and helped us out. And after that point, I was like, we need to get one of these for ourselves.
Police say the drones can be in the air in less than a minute, often reaching a scene before officers do. And they expect the technology to make a difference year-round, especially during busy beach season. In Folly Beach, AC Barker, Count on 2.
Next on News 2.
A psychologist offers insight into why some drivers experience road rage and provides tips on how to keep that from happening.
To Your Health, sponsored by Coastal Wound Care.
If you've ever encountered an angry driver on the road, you're not alone. But what is it about driving that makes some people so mad?
Road rage is often not really about traffic or a careless driver. It is often about emotional regulation. When you get into the car, you're often feeling stressed, rushed. And traffic is one way that can put your emotions into overdrive, take you from 0 to 100 in just a matter of moments.
Dr. Susan Albers is a psychologist. She says driving can also trigger a person's fight or flight response, which happens when the brain perceives something as a threat. For example, another car cuts you off and suddenly you feel aggressive. Dr. Albers adds that some drivers may think they're anonymous behind the wheel, so they can act in a way they normally would not. So, how can we avoid road rage? Dr. Albers recommends first checking in with yourself. Are you anxious, tired, hungry, or stressed? These are all factors that can affect a person's mood while driving. The heat can also play a role.
Hot cars lead to hot tempers. Make sure that the car inside is cool. This is going to help to regulate your emotions, help you to feel calmer. Turn on the air conditioning, put down the windows to help your environment feel cooler.
Dr. Albers says being late can also trigger road rage. She advises planning ahead and giving yourself some extra time to get where you need to go.
Next on News 2.
News 2's Octavia Mitchell sat down one-on-one with the superintendent of the last school district to head back to school, Berkeley County. We have more on this next. But before we go, we want to take a look at what's trending on our WCBD app right now. One-on-one with Berkeley County School District Superintendent, Mount Pleasant will not move forward with Town Center redevelopment plan, and behind the scenes, the map that leads you to Premier.
Stay in the know on the go with the News 2 app, sponsored by Charleston Amish Furniture. Now, your Storm Team 2 forecast first. Sponsored by Revive Roofing and Exteriors.
Well, you have sunshine through most of the low country. A few spots are getting those showers and thunderstorms, just enough heat and moisture to pop a few off. Edisto, one of those places that is not seeing isolated thunderstorms, but we may see something a little bit later this afternoon. Notice that line of thunderstorms firing off about Hilton Head, going all the way up through Beaufort, Charleston, Folly Beach. We'll be watching those carefully. You have a few of them up towards northern Charleston County, and that's starting to kind of fade away there. There's that line just west of Hollywood and Edisto that we're keeping an eye on over the next hour or so. Current temperatures, we got those low to mid 90s, and that's mixing in with those dew points, which is high moisture. What does that give you? High heat index. Looking at 110, almost 113 in Somerville. We're going to be talking about what the rest of the week has for us and the tropics coming up here. News 2 at 4:30.
It's back to school today for nearly 39,000 students in Berkeley County, the second largest school district in the Lowcountry, fourth largest in the state. They are the last school district to head back to school. News 2's Octavia Mitchell sat down one-on-one with the district superintendent, Dr. Anthony Dixon. The district has new security measures, new schools in the works, and program changes.
I'm always excited about the first day.
Berkeley County Superintendent Dr. Anthony Dixon is in his third year as leader of BCSD, a district that continues to grow.
We've been averaging in the past 900 to 1,000, and lately it's kind of slowed down a little bit to about 700 to 800 students, but we are still growing pretty fast in Berkeley County.
The district has 38,900 students in 48 schools. BCSD is currently building 2 new schools, and major renovations are underway at another.
We are building new construction, Bee Tree Elementary, and Midtown Middle School that's in the Nexton community, and Bee Tree is in the Cane Bay community. And then we are doing a replacement school for Hanahan Middle School in Hanahan.
Those schools are expected to open August 2026. Berkeley County School District has 5,000 employees and around 3,000 teachers, with a few vacancies.
And so we're working on our classified, non-certified positions, teacher assistants, a few bus drivers, and so we want to make sure we have all of those. But as far as our and special education teachers.
Starting salary for teachers, $56,770.
We did an increase of all of our teachers' certified positions this year, and so we went past our goal of where our salaries are going to start.
Safety and security, always top priority. There are school resource officers in every school. They met over the summer for safety training. The district also has security officers at some schools and improved front entrance systems at all schools.
Last year, around the end of the year, we started doing weapon screeners checks randomly in schools of all students, and that worked out extremely well. So this year we have an aggressive plan to do and increase the number of weapon screeners checks that we do in our high schools and middle schools.
Dr. Dixon says he is proud of the district's accomplishments.
Looking at our preliminary college and career readiness scores, our preliminary SC Ready data and EOC scores, we're continuing to see growth. We're continuing to see more growth than we did the previous year.
He says BCSD will have an increased focus on data-driven instruction, and they will expand the early college program to 9th graders in partnership with Trident Technical College. There are also changes to the alternative school program.
We're remodeling the alternative school program to put some more intentional focus and supports and wraparound services around of our students who may need a second chance or some additional guidance.
Also, more schools will now provide free meals for all students.
We expanded that this year to 32 schools within our district. So for 32 schools, if you go on our website, you'll see the 32 schools that are a part of the CEP program. Every student within those schools can pick up a lunch and a breakfast at no cost every day of the school year.
Superintendent Dixon says through a collaborative effort with parents and the community, the district's achievements will continue to grow.
Our main goal is to provide a quality education for our students, continuing to build this one Berkeley community where everyone understands the vision, all of our employees, all of our community members, all of our students, that we want to make a positive difference in the students' lives, and in that, it makes a positive difference in our community in Berkeley County.
Octavia Mitchell, Count on 2.
News 2 is your back-to-school station. No matter what district you're in, we have everything you need to know ahead of the new school year. Be sure to tune into our WCBD Plus app all this week. We are talking to experts and parents about how you can save money, navigate stress, and manage time. If you would like to download the WCBD Plus app, just scan the QR code on your screen. It's free and it's available on Apple, Roku, and Amazon TVs. The Salvation Army is reopening its after-school program, offering a safe and enriching space for local children from elementary through middle school. The program runs Monday through Friday from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Salvation Army Charleston on Ashley River Road. Students will receive homework help, enjoy creative arts, sports, and snacks. They'll also take part in Bible-based character lessons. Registration is open now, but space is limited. For details, call 843-693-0309.
Next on News 2.
New data shows that South Carolina's economy grew faster than any other state in early 2025. Hear more after a quick break.
Quick check of the wind and waves forecast. Southwesterly winds going to be predominantly the big thing that we're talking about as far as the tides are concerned. High tide at about midnight tonight, getting low tide about 6:15 tomorrow morning. High tide once again about 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. You are watching News 2 at 4:30.
A new study was released by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis that shows South Carolina is the highest in the nation in economic growth and among the highest in personal income so far this year. State House reporter Caroline Yaffa breaks down these numbers.
New data shows that South Carolina's economy grew faster than any other state in early 2025. Take a look. The data from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis says the state's GDP, which is the total value of everything we produce, went up by 1.7%. This is number one in the nation. It also says that construction, real estate, rental, and leasing were the big driving forces in South Carolina's growth. The Department of Employment and Workforce says this is more money in people's pockets.
Our wage growth has typically been outpacing the national average. So it's not just that more stuff is happening, but it also means that there's more opportunities out there. There's still a lot of businesses that are hiring out there. There's more than 100,000 job openings statewide.
State Representative Brandon Newton says this is not a race that has a finish line. It's ongoing, and he says legislation he hopes to pass next year will continue this economic prosperity. In Columbia, I'm Caroline Yaffa.
The United States national debt has reached a record $37 trillion. That's according to the latest Treasury Department report issued Tuesday. It comes earlier than pre-pandemic projections, with the Congressional Budget Office in 2020 predicting the gross federal debt would not reach $37 trillion until 2030. However, the debt grew faster than expected because of a multi-year COVID-19 pandemic starting in 2020 that shut down much of the U.S. economy. Now, President Donald Trump's sweeping tax cuts and spending package signed into law earlier this year is expected to add $4.1 trillion to the national debt over the next decade. Ahead of his face-to-face meeting with Russian leader Putin, President Trump issued a warning. There will be severe consequences if he determines Putin is not serious about ending the war with Ukraine. But despite growing frustration with Putin, Trump has not carried through on previous threats, and Russia has continued its onslaught on Ukraine and its people. That's why Ukrainian President Zelensky and European leaders pressed President Trump today to stand firm and not believe in the Russian leader. NBC's Yamish Alkindor has details from Washington.
First is I'm going to find out where we are and what we're doing.
The president describing what he plans to accomplish when he meets with Russian President Vladimir Putin this Friday in Alaska, as President Trump tries to find a way to end the war in Ukraine. This morning, President Trump speaking to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders. They were not invited to the Alaska summit and are worried that any agreement made there could be disastrous for Ukraine and Europe. President Trump has said there may need to be some territory swapping between Russia and Ukraine, but that's a non-starter for Zelensky, who urged President Trump not to give in to Putin. Zelensky insists Russia does not want peace and instead wants to fully occupy Ukraine. Meanwhile, today, President Trump downplaying expectations for the summit at a U.S. military base in Anchorage. The president saying he will only have a second meeting with Russia and Ukraine at the table if he gets the answers he's looking for from Putin on Friday.
I would like to do it almost immediately, and we'll have a quick second meeting between President Putin and President Zelensky and myself.
President Trump eager to end the war in Ukraine and fulfill a campaign promise which has already proven to be a great challenge.
After months of Trump-led efforts that have yielded not a single concession from Russia.
And while the president prepares for the Alaska summit, his efforts to tamp down crime in Washington, D.C. are underway. The first round of National Guard troops are now in the streets of the nation's capital. A White House official said the guards are being deployed to deter crime, protect federal assets, and provide a safe environment for law enforcement officers to make arrests. Legally, the president's emergency powers to take control of the D.C. police only last for 30 days, and any extension must be approved by Congress. And today, President Trump said he was going to ask Congress for an extension, and he is confident that he will get that. Yamish Alkindor, NBC News, the White House.
Next on News 2.
Plans for a new meditation and memorial garden honoring the Cannon Street All-Stars will be unveiled this weekend. Stay with us for more. The Moncks Corner Farmers Market is returning to its original home at the Market Pavilion, located directly behind Delta Pharmacy. Shoppers can find fresh, locally grown produce, specialty foods, and handmade arts and crafts every Thursday from 3 to 7 p.m., with a feature food truck on site each week. Organizers say they're excited to welcome the community back to the familiar spot and hope to make the season the best one yet. And plans for a new meditation and memorial garden honoring the Cannon Street All-Stars will be unveiled at Harmon Field this Saturday, August 16th at 2 p.m. The garden will serve as an outdoor museum chronicling the history of the Cannon Street YMCA Little League basketball program from 1953 to 1956. Members of the Cannon Street All-Star Board, along with the surviving members, will be on hand to share stories about the historic all-black baseball team that won the 1955 state championship by default after a boycott by white teams. The event is part of a weekend celebration of the team's 70th anniversary, which will include a special tribute during Sunday's River Dogs game at Joseph P. Riley Jr. Park. Brant, the heat and humidity seems to be back a little bit. Those heat indexes seem crazy high, but I guess it's August.
Yeah, it's August, and we've gotten a pretty good break over the last week and a half.
Nice.
Lot of rainfall, a lot of heavy rain. And some impressive lightning. Now we switch right back to the heat and humidity. What we're looking at this weekend is going to be a little bit of a mixed bag, and we're also watching the tropics. Here's what we got going on. From the Francis Marion Hotel, looking over downtown. It's sunny out that direction. And we're looking at a few showers and thunderstorms as you're looking inland, mostly looking off to the west and to the northwest. You'll see those showers and thunderstorms kind of hanging on pretty close to shore here. We had those thunderstorms up in northern Charleston County. Those are starting to fizzle out, but these ones are just getting going here. Southwestern Dorchester County, looking at Carlton County as well. These are pushing to the northeast, so Somerville, Hanahan, areas along I-26. Keep an eye on that line of thunderstorms. Looks like some heavier rainfall and frequent lightning is going to be some of the things we're watching for that. All right, temperatures as we go into the overnight, it's going to struggle to get below 80 degrees. I think few of us will, but it'll be warm and muggy for the overnight. Looking at Thursday afternoon, mid to upper 80s, lower 90s for the afternoon hours. So not too bad as far as temperatures are concerned, mostly due to thunderstorm activity, likely cooling things off as we get into that realm. Let's go ahead and push things forward. Going to early Thursday morning, going to Thursday afternoon. Notice those showers and thunderstorms going to be on and off through the day. I think we do see a line of storms at some point during the day. I'm thinking it's going to be more so in the evening hours. We'll have some isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon, and then later that night we'll have a line of thunderstorms that come through and kind of rumble us awake a little bit. By the time we get to early Thursday morning, we break things up once again, and early Friday morning. Going to Friday afternoon, there we go. Now we're seeing more showers and thunderstorms, mostly those pop-ups that we're used to in the afternoon. That's what we're going to be looking at towards the sea breeze. Anywhere from Hilton Head all the way up to Myrtle Beach is going to be a part of that discussion. All right, so we're watching the tropics. Tropical storm Aaron finally getting some thunderstorm activity going. And as far as tropical systems go, this is moving at light speed at about 15 to 20 miles per hour to the west. And we're watching this cone mostly to see if we get this northward turn here. A lot of the ensembles do bring this out into the mid-Atlantic towards Bermuda. And that would be something that we'd hope for the U.S. mainland. But we can't shut the door on Aaron just yet. I'd say we'd want to hold on to this until about Friday, Saturday. That's when we start getting within the 5-day window. That's when models get a lot more honed in, a lot more accurate. As for now, it's just like watching a pot boil. We just got to kind of let it sit for a little bit and see where these ensembles take it. But thus far, it's looking like it's going to be close. But it looks like we could have a pretty good chance of that going out to sea at this point. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we got those low 90s back down to maybe a couple upper 80s with that thunderstorm activity on Saturday, which isn't going to be that widespread. Keep your plans in place. Islands, beaches forecast also looking at that chance for thunderstorms on Saturday with those upper 80s, lower 90s for the most part across the region. All right. Traffic. We are seeing things starting to slow down a little bit as you're getting westbound I-26. Same thing westbound 17 as you're getting out from downtown. Westbound 526 also looking at a little bit of a slowdown there. Not too bad. You're coming off the Ravenel. We had some slowdown earlier, but now things are looking fairly smooth as you're getting towards Coleman or Johnny Dodds. Going to be looking at that for the next hour or so. About 45 minutes, Mount Pleasant to West Ashley. Downtown to Somerville, looking at about 35 minutes. So Mount Pleasant to West Ashley, that's been going up about about the last 30 minutes, so hopefully we can keep it about 45 minutes. Right now, it's just traffic congestion, no accidents to report at this hour, but we'll keep an eye on it. Things are slowing down a little bit.
It's now time to take a look at what's coming up on News 2 at 5 o'clock. We hear from incoming freshmen at the College of Charleston as they begin moving into the dorms today, how they're preparing for the new year ahead.